Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. It's Friday night, and you know what that means on Anfield Index. Friday night is Chat G&G, with me usually being the handsome one along with Gags Tandon. But today, for the second week consecutively, someone steals my handsome thunder, and it's the main man himself, Mr. Keith, Mr. Goldmouth Cross himself. How are we doing, brother?
Do you know what? When you're handsome, life is just great, isn't it?
Oh, shut up, man. You love it.
Mate, Friday night in the cup with Grizz Khan. What more could I want? Especially on a big night coming up on Sunday, boy. Do you know what I mean? It's I'd rather be right here, cutting the mustards than in a nightclub at the moment. So
It's
yeah.
I think the more I ask you to come on shows and podcasts, I keep you out of trouble. I think the missus will agree. But
Yeah.
listen, we won't get into that. We won't get into that. Yeah, listen, people, welcome. Of course, Mr. Tandon is away still on holidays, enjoying himself. Hope he's very well. In fact, I haven't messaged him in a couple of days actually, and he hasn't messaged me in a couple of days.
He's
So
really
on
enjoying it.
Yeah, I got to message him straight afterwards, see how he's doing. Hope he's okay. Um, I've got the main man himself, Keith's in the building, aka Goldmouth. Yeah, Keith, it's not the eve, but the eve of the big one. And regardless of where they are, who they are, what form they're in, and vice versa for when we were shit, these games mean everything. It's blood, it's thunder, it's rivalry, it's heritage, it's pride, it's honor.
It's PTSD. It's high school trauma, particularly if you're a Liverpool fan from my era. Do you know what I mean? It's probably high school trauma now for Man United fans who haven't seen their club win a major trophy in what we're getting up to about 12, 13 years now. It's all of that and so much more, man. It's one of my favorite games of the season. The WhatsApp groups are just blowing up. You know what I mean? Man United fans who are not football fans any other time of the year.
They
Or
actually hate it. They actually hate their team. They actually hate football. For the last 3, 4 seasons, most of the Man United fans that I speak to, and I ashamedly admit I speak to a few, they hate football, Keith. They absolutely despise football. Like they don't want to know. They don't talk about football anymore. There's no banter. There's no jokes. It's amazing what effect your team and your club has. Because we went through that phase with
yeah,
Liverpool. We didn't want to be in WhatsApp groups. We didn't want to be like, well, I don't know if WhatsApp groups were a thing then. Maybe just
BBM Messenger, MSN Messenger.
yeah.
Uh,
We didn't want to meet up with our boys
yeah,
and girls, like
yeah.
and catch up with football chat. No, 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 no. Talk about something else: rugby, cricket, the movies. Talk about what's the latest, even politics. Like, but don't talk about football. That's where United are right now.
Look, and I suppose the best way to describe it, because we all love stats, right? And here's
Hmm.
a stat for you, Grizz, that Liverpool have enjoyed recent dominance. We've only lost one of the last 13 Premier League matches against Man United. 7 wins, 5 draws. And I suppose that kind of tells a story
We
of just
prayed for
what
times like this.
we prayed. Honestly, we really prayed. We sacrificed a lot to get to this point, but watching Man United suffer season in, season out has been an absolute joy to me. And the moment that they come back might be the moment that I decide maybe cricket's a good thing again, or maybe rugby's a good thing again. But until then, we're going to be on their throats.
Do you know what it is? And this is no dig. This is I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't know what you're like. I think you're more active in your WhatsApp groups in terms of trolling Man United fans to and froing. I swear to you, and I guess this is the ultimate diss to them. I only think about them. I only consider them. I'm only aware of them when we play them. Like they're nothing to me. I don't look at their results. Only when they've been battered by someone or Grimsby, when there's like sort of it's all over social media, then I think, haha, them for they're so insignificant to me. It's unbelievable now.
They are, but you know what the craziest thing is for us, absolutely the banter's there. You know what I mean? Like they're not. It's not like I can't remember the last time we had a conversation about them being title challengers, about them being potential challengers in the Champions League. Like, oh, we might draw Man United in the quarterfinal. Like those conversations never happen. But fairness, everybody loves talking about them. Like literally every time you switch on the radio, every time it's kind of like, oh, Man United, you know, it's all going tits up, it's all going this, that, and the other. You know, there's a big obsession in English media to still talk about them day in, day out. So
they are a big club. Look, we know they're a gigantic club. Let's not revise history. Let's not, you know, I know Man City are the new, you know, prima donnas, the new force, right?
Yeah.
Recent decade. Man United are, along with us, heritage. Man United are institution. That's the way I describe us two. Liverpool and Manchester United are institutions. And it's glorious that that institution is literally on its dying embers. But you're so right. And I know you bring out your stats and facts, and I know you like all that stuff. But when people read out those kind of stats to me, Keith, I get a little bit worried. Like, you know, records are there to be broken, stats are there to be, like, when you're reading out, we're unbeaten in X amount of games. Like last year, 2 seasons, they've come and got draws, brother. They've somehow come and got draws. Now, you explain to me how.
That's a great question. I've found in recent times that whenever Man United fans have their tails tucked between their legs and they're like, ooh, you know, because remember, I believe that draw last season where Gary Neville was throwing Snow back onto the pitch. He didn't want the match to happen because Liverpool were going to destroy them and everybody was talking it up like this is going to be a cakewalk for Liverpool. I feel like when those situations happen, that's when we seem to just, I don't know, just drop the ball a little bit. It's almost like there's almost like an overconfidence with the fan base. So to your point, you're right. It is a bit like we have to be cautious because when the shoe was on the other foot, there were times when we would get results against Man United.
We would raise our game, bro.
Yeah, right. Remember the Danny Murphy, the John Arne
100%.
right?
100%.
When we worked for the title with Fernando Torres, like there were so many, like the Carling Cup final or Worthington Cup final, the one
where they were strong favorites, right?
They were massive favorites. That was Beckham.
I remember.
Yeah, Veron. Like they had all these players. They had big players then when we beat them in the Carling Cup. Big favorites. We won it. We won it then as well. So yeah, I think sometimes I don't know if like it's deliberate when they.
I'm going to try and get those lineups. Go on, you carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know. And then on the flip side, I found also interesting, which I think is happening this time. Man United fans are actually confident. I think they're confident. I don't know what I don't know. I haven't catched up on your chat with Saeed yet, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Grizz. Like, what's the feeling amongst the content creating community when it comes to United fans? Are they still very much like, no, we've not got nothing going? Or is there a little bit of confidence? Because the last time they were confident, we put 7 past them.
No, there isn't. The ones that I speak to, the ones that I converse with, the ones that I work with, none of them are confident. There's a little bit of hope, and it's based on their performances in the big games. Because look, they're shite, but they have done okay in certain big games against Man City, against us, against Arsenal. They knocked them out in the thing, didn't they? The cup last season.
Yeah.
You know, they gave them a hard game opening the game of the season. It was, you know, I think they deserved to win, to be honest with you. I don't think Arsenal deserved that. So there is that element that, because look, if we go through their squad, I think they've got this time round, I think it's the most amount of good players they've had in their squad in recent times. It's just there's no structure. There's no method to their madness or Ruben Amrim's madness. But they've got good players, man. And we're going to get into sort of the dangerment from what we think from our point of view is. And then obviously we're going to try to discuss. Bad Ronk says, Grizz and Keith, who's your starting 11? Yeah, we're going to try to agree to disagree or agree to agree on the starting 11s. But Keith, it's been a little while. Liverpool are back. Training pictures are back. Lads look in good spirits. It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling when I see the lads back together in the coffee room, you know, mixing, socializing. Looks like, by the grace of God, a clean bill of health, which is very important, apart from Alisson, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, some of the finishes that I saw today in some of these training clips were just unbelievable. Honestly, like, watching them train is a sight to behold, to be honest. And you're right. The vibes look good. Everybody's fit and firing. We're not having to think too much about this whole preseason thing with McAllister and Isak and Wirtz and players like that. I think everybody. I feel like sometimes in life, I think you kind of need to be shaken up a little bit. And I think the squads, I think the players, I think the fan base, I think we all needed a bit of a dose of reality. I can hold my hands up and say, I definitely, when they say don't walk before you can run, or no, don't run before you can walk. I was flying before I could even crawl this season. I was getting in on it, and I've taken my fair share of banter back. So I feel like those 3 defeats were needed to ground us back to reality, to remind us that nothing is forever in the Premier League.
Nothing's easy, man. Yeah,
you're the big dog tomorrow. You could be fighting for scraps. So psychologically, and I suppose that is the question. Actually, I suppose who does the psychological burden rest on, Grizz? Does it rest on the team that's just lost 3 games in a row, or does it rest on a team that's still trying to prove that their manager should be in a job?
No. Let's be realistic. Let's be honest, Keith, with ourselves. Come on, let's be honest. All the pressure is on us. All of it. They're used to losing, bro. No one gives a shit if they lose Sunday.
Yeah. They can just, I suppose,
it's a literal free hit.
Yeah, mad.
The pressure is on us. Anything apart from a convincing win, I don't give a shit if it's convincing or not. I just want to win. But majority of 90% of the fan base will say we need to win convincingly. Otherwise, the question marks, the doubts, the issues that people talking about are going to be magnified, bro. Like we're gonna get into the problems and the issues magnified. Just a very quick one. Check this out. This is the team we're talking about. Sort of. Check this team out, broski. This was the Liverpool lineup. Jersey Dudek, Honcho Hipia, Risa, Carragher. So Risa would have been left back.
Yep.
Carragher right back. That means Haman and Gerrard, Murphy.
Yep.
Look at the front 3. Heskey, Al Hadj Diouf, and Owen. So I think Al Hadj Diouf played on the left.
Yes.
Heskey on the right wing? No.
I think it was Heskey, Owen up front. It was
no. Heskey and Owen up front. El Hadji left. Probably Gerrard on the right. Haman and Murphy in midfield, bro. And look at their team. We beat these.
Veron, Ferdinand, Beckham, Keane, Scholes, Van Nistelrooy, Giggs. I mean, that was this was like the flip reverse. This is a perfect example. That game is a perfect example of where we were. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? See how it happens though. We turned up.
Yeah, we turned up. We won, and they've done it to us in cup games as well. And I suppose here's a question then: with the pressure on us to win and win convincingly, is there an extra? Is there then an extra mental pitfall with the fact that this is going to be at home and the crowd could potentially get restless? Or actually, does the fact that we're all doing this together at Anfield, will that help to give us that push that we're going to need? Because the boys are going to need that push on Sunday. They're not going to need it. 10, 15 minutes. You can't have groaning and you're getting frustrated. But the fans have really got to be on side from minute one.
I think the fact that we haven't played at home in a month is going to help. Like we've been on road, bro. We've been on road. And so it's going to be good to be home again. It's the Sunday. It's the main game. Atmosphere should be banging and they should be up for it. Look, Virgil's program notes, or not program notes, but his notes before the game, his interview before the game, like we're all about. We need to get back on track. The levels that this club aspires to have not been reached in the last few games. And he's right. He's bang on. They haven't been. Look, we can talk about fine margins, and I often do. We were basically 2 literal last kicks of the game away from being top and unbeaten. Literally. disregard the Champions League for now. Those 2 league games, literal last kicks of the game away from, by hook or by crook. I'm not saying we deserved it, but however, it was 2 literal last kicks of the game from being unbeaten and top of the table. And the agenda and the narrative and the talking points would have been different. Correct or not incorrect?
Absolutely. But that's the most interesting thing about the narratives and agendas, because it's kind of like, we almost gave fuel to the fire, because the narrative has not been like, oh, Chelsea and Palace were quite fortunate actually to end up getting 3 points away in the end, because the second half of both those games, I thought Liverpool came into their own. But yeah, we haven't been able to control the narratives. And because we haven't been able to control the narratives, we have suffered as a result, because it's not just the fact that we've lost those 2 games in the last minute. Now the general consensus is that actually Liverpool are not that good. Plain and simple, everybody is saying we're not that good. We haven't played that good. You guys, Liverpool might have won in the last minute, but actually you won in the last minute because you're not that good. And when you lose a game in the last minute, you also lost that game in the last minute, not because the other team were lucky to get that goal, which they were, in my opinion, both goals. Okay, we switched off, etc. But to score with the last kick of the game in both goals, you have to kind of, in a balanced world, in a nuanced world, which is not the case of football fan media or conversation, you would say in both situations, Liverpool were unlucky. And I would say we were unlucky in those games. But unfortunately, like you said, 2 draws became 2 defeats. And now there is big pressure. There's massive pressure on Slot's
Would
head.
we say in his tenure, this is the most pressure he's been under? Definitely. Period. Yeah. Is there another period?
No. The only time I'd say there was probably pressure was heightened a little bit was probably that Everton draw. Was it when we drew with Everton and we drew with Aston Villa, and then there was kind of like signs that
maybe because I think that was more, oh shit, are we gonna bottle it type.
Yes. It was that pressure. Liverpool don't do well in these situations. They're gonna crumble. They're gonna fall. But no, you're right. This is probably one of the biggest pressures Arne Slot's been involved in.
Yeah.
And probably some of the biggest pressures that Liverpool fans have had to deal with.
We're favourites. Well, we were favourites, right?
We were favourites. We're running away with it. No one could stop us. Now, all of a sudden, we've lost 3 games for the first time since 2018. And everybody's been waiting for this. And I don't blame them. When Man United
it comes with the territory, man. It comes with the territory, man. Yeah. Listen, we talk about Man United. Everyone loves talking about Man United. Why? It's because they're big. Because they're so big. Why do people love hating on Liverpool? It's because we're so good. Yeah. We're so big. And that's it. It comes with the territory. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. Yes. Comey says, I really hope our senior lads show up and lead by example. This would make it so much easier for the new signings to shine, in my opinion. What do you think about this? I think Virgil has been immense. He's having to do too much at his grand old age. What do we think about the rest of the senior lads? So who constitutes the rest of the senior lads? Alisson, who's been amazing, but he's injured at the moment. Robertson and Salah on the peripheral. Robertson obviously doesn't play as much. Behind the scenes, we can't quantify the work he's doing behind the scenes to keep the morale going and helping out with the youngsters. Mo's got his own form to worry about. What do you think?
Yeah. I think when it comes to the senior lads, I think
you throwing McAllister in there as well, senior lad.
I throw McAllister into that senior lads. Right. I'd also I'd kind of put Cody Gakpo in there. He's 25 years old. I mean, he's international season pro. But no, maybe not Cody. Maybe McAllister. I think from what we expect. Look, I don't think the senior lads need to step up and raise their game so everybody else does. I think this is now. Actually, the ball is in Arne Slot and the coaching staffs. I think Arne Slot has treated the start of the season like an extended preseason. I think I said this on the channel last week. And I think now the Slot needs to show up to the lads and say, this is my team. This is my 11, right? And this is what I see where we're going as a football club. as a squad, people are going to get opportunities to fight for these places, etc. But I think he really needs to set on a style, set on an 11, and really put to bed any idea that, you know, people are still going through preseason training. I think he's been incredibly cautious, and I respect it, because a season's 9 months, not 9 weeks. But that's what I would personally say. I don't really think it's the senior players. You know, is it the new players? They're still trying to find their bedding in. But I just think we've made too many changes. We've tried too many things. We tried to put this person here, this person there, Szoboszlai right back, Wirtz on the left, Wirtz through center. I think it's time for Slot to really nail it down and say, right, if Florian Wirtz is your number 10, right, and he's your main creator, he has to play every game as the 10, regardless. If Alexander Isak is your number 1 striker and he's playing up front, and Hugo Ekitike is one for the future, Isak has to start every single game. If you don't trust your right backs and you think that Dominic Szoboszlai is the best right back we have at the club, then Dominic Szoboszlai has to play at right back. Do you understand where I'm coming from? He needs to start to really seal the deal on where we're going forward, because I think the chopping and changing hurts us.
You don't think it's helped?
Not at all.
No, I mean, do you think he's the? Why is he doing it then? Is it because he's? Do you remember last season we ran out of legs?
Yeah.
In that period around Madrid, not Madrid, PSG League Cup final. Don't you think he's preserving players' energies, levels, time management, game management, and we should reap the rewards later on? Or do you think no? Just play your best team predominantly every game week for the start at least, and then start rotating during the season. Because I'm not sure which was the right method. Which way to go around it?
Chat, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever known a Premier League team, a winning Premier League team, to really change their 11 that much. I mean, you could probably argue that Pep Guardiola was probably one of the guys, you know, what was it, the Pep Roulette, as people who play fantasy football will remember long and hard. You know, he may make changes here and there, but other than someone like a Pep, for me, it's the same 11. You know, it's usually the same, because same coherence, same 11. And so I get it that he's trying to preserve legs for later on, but actually too much change too often, you're not preserving, you're sacrificing the preservation of continuity, telepathy, and structure for fitness. There's got to be a better balance. And at the moment, I think he's leaning too much towards the fitness side of things and is being too obsessed over that, without realizing that actually, last season, when you were playing the same 11 to 15 players, that continuity ended up producing some phenomenal results. It took a bit of time to go, but it bears fruit in the end. It's a bit like Jurgen Klopp. Unfortunately, when we won the league title, that 11 that he put out was this, me and you, remember we used to do predictions. What was the prediction? The prediction was like, yep, same as last week. Yep, same as last week. I personally believe we need to get back to that. You? What about you? How do you find it? Do you buy this whole? How do you feel about tinkering? Remember back in the day, it was the Tinkerman, Claudio Ranieri, Tinkerman.
I told you, I don't think he knows the best 11 right now, and I don't think it's worrying. I just think when you got 5-6 new players in your team squad, you don't know your best 11 until they play and function together. Like he might have. Okay, what I mean by that, he may have an idea in his head that eventually this is the 11 I think will be the best. But until they get on the pitch and play, we don't know our best 11, bro. Sometimes formations, sometimes lineups can just automatically be lucky and click. Like you can have an injury, and then someone can come on and light up the rest of the game, and you think, oh, okay, let's try them another game like that, how we ended that game. And then from there, that guy could keep his place in the team, and suddenly you found a formation. Like, do you remember how Trent got into the team? Who was the player that got injured? The right
Klein, isn't it? Nathaniel Klein.
Klein got injured.
Yeah, it was Klein.
Trent gets thrown in there, and you think, wow. Yeah. So sometimes it can be by hook or by crook, like by chance. You can stumble across your best 11 and formation. I don't know what's up. What's our best formation and line? Okay, let's put it to each other. What do you think? Everyone's fit, everyone's in form. What's our go-to lineup? Champions League final tomorrow against Arsenal. What's the 11? What's the formation? Hit me.
Based on what I've seen this season,
Mm-hmm.
my formation is still 4-3-3. But I believe, in terms of what I've seen this season and what works, is okay. You know, I'm gonna reel it off real quick. Allison, if I was going to the Champions League final right now, based on this, I would say it's got to be Kerkez, Van Dijk, Konate, Dominic Szoboszlai right back. It's got to be McAllister, Gravenberch, Florian Wirtz. It's got to be Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah, and Isak.
So who have you left out the big hitters?
So out of the big hitters, I would have left out, obviously,
Robertson?
I would have left out Robertson, Frimpong, Bradley. Obviously, you're leaving Hugo Ekitike out of the picture, which is huge.
Did you pick McAllister?
I said Gravenberch.
Szoboszlai, Wirtz, you said.
No, Gravenberch, McAllister. I said Szoboszlai
right back.
Yeah.
Wow. You're adamant on that.
You're not happy with that though. You don't like it.
No, but I don't like Szoboszlai. I need him in my engine room, brother. He's the captain of my ship. Like he's the one who, you got rowers.
Yeah.
Oh, he's front rower.
Yeah, he is. But his qualities that he has, this is what I'm talking about right now. I just don't think.
Why is Bradley falling off in everyone's estimation so much?
Bro, honestly, until Mohamed Salah leaves the club, I don't believe that we can have, in my opinion, for balance and continuity, flying wing backs in that mode. I just don't think this is the biggest problem. Whereas Szoboszlai, one of the things that I like about Szoboszlai, I think he's got, obviously got a great engine, does quite well defensively, but what he does do more than anything is that he's very good at kind of playing direct passes from that right back position. Something Trent was also quite good. He's the only one that really has that technique that could mirror what we lost with Trent. And until we get over it, which we're not going to get over this season, by the way, I think that's why.
But change it, Keith. We don't need to try to replicate Trent. Like Trent is a one in a. Like he said, Klopp said about Wirtz, one in a century, I think he said. Type player. Yeah. Trent is elite, man. You can't replicate Trent. Change the way we create and play. I think that's what we're trying to go towards. So don't throw Szoboszlai in there just because he's got the switch. He's got the range technique of passing that slightly mirrors Trent. I don't think it is as good as Trent at all. But I see what you're saying. I see what you mean. We're trying to go away from relying on Trent and Salah, guys. This is the whole purpose of this season. This is why we're transitioning. People hate this word, and rivals laughing at us when we use it for Liverpool. But the dopey mugs. I can't be asked with arguing or talking and debating with dopey mugs. When you have 75% new attack, 50% new back four, and a new number 10, which you never played for, that is what you call a transition. The former Klopp team, which was a basic 4-3-3, as you said, same 11 every week for the last 4 or 5 years, we know, to something completely different, or 60 to 75% different. That's what you call a transition, you mugs. So I think we're trying to I agree with you. I think we're trying to move away from being Salah FC and Trent FC. We were Salah and Trent FC going forward.
Yeah, 100%. And look, it's the hardest thing to do, because it's kind of like everything that we built towards was built on the idea that Mohamed Salah, everything was built around him. From an attacking perspective, from a build-up perspective, everything has been built around him. And unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't see a world where he's going to make any big game adjustments at this stage of his career. I've heard people saying, why don't we play him through the middle? I've heard people saying, why don't we, why don't we build better partnership with him and Bradley? for me, it was always like Salah from a starting position always had that opportunity to almost gain space because the opposition was so scared of Trent, right? And Trent getting the ball. But at the same time, what they'd also do is they'd also attack our right-hand side a lot because they saw Trent as the issue, as the kind of like the weak link. So everything used to happen on that side. Now we're adjusting and we're kind of changing the way we play.
I think we're trying to become more central.
Yes.
What do you think?
More narrow, yeah. A lot more narrow, a lot more like cute touches, a lot more kind of like it runs in and everything goes through Verts. But you see it a lot of the times. Like Verts almost, I would almost say he's picking up the position that I believe he's being told to pick up, but he's almost taking the ball away from somebody to then take a touch to then move it on. Sometimes I feel like Verts is almost in the way a little bit, right?
I hear you.
Right? He's almost in the way. It's almost kind of like he doesn't need to be there. But the idea is that, well, no, he needs to be the guy that you focus on. But everyone's kind of like, well, I like to get into those positions.
And it's usually McAllister.
Yes, McAllister. Even this whole thing with Gravenberch getting further forwards now and having the opportunity to go up and down. Like, we've got so many players that want what Verts is being tasked to do. And that includes Mohamed Salah. The creative engine, the direct passes, the split people open. Like, how do we make Verts the main guy and everybody else facilitate around him? Is that what we're doing? Are we building our entire attacking structure around Verts and Isak/Ekitike? Is that what
I think that's the plan? I think that's the plan. But rightly so, right? Because if you're buying those three combined players for like 300 million, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much 300
million quid.
300 million for three new attackers. You'd be stupid not to build your attack around the focus around there. That's why I think Salah. I don't know, man, what to do though, bro. Like, you can't drop Salah. We have to work our way through this. We can't revert back to the old system because I don't think we've got the personnel for the old system. I think we've got personnel for a new system with a few of the old players adjusting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Salah needs to adjust to the new system. Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai all need to adjust to the new attackers. Obviously, the new attackers have to make their own styles, their characteristics. We have to know what they're about. I think it's very obvious to see what Ekitike is about. Ekitike is lively, dropping in holes, drifting out wide, taking ability to take on players, loves doing quick 1-2s in and around the. I saw him live in the Charity Shield against Crystal Palace, and him and Verts' link up was magical. And I was like, yo, we're gonna be fun to watch. Obviously, it hasn't progressed that way, but I can sense it. Isak, lovely, graceful football. Isak's one of those guys that you'd love to play football with.
Yeah. Because
you can tell
the ball sticks to his feet. Do you know what I mean? And you know, Isak for me, Grizz. And on the topic of Isak, like, how much of it has been, like, obviously fitness related, and how much do you think, if anything, there may be a longer term impact, maybe for this season at least, on the way that he did this move to Newcastle? Because, like, I sometimes think to myself, like, imagine being a footballer like an Isak or a Verts, right? You can't even turn your phone on without people digging you out. Like, literally, this whole, and I know that they say that, you know, footballers have got a strong mentality, they just need to get by, they get paid loads of money, blah blah blah, but it can't be easy. And I wonder, with a consistent bombardment of criticism and nasty speech, and journalists going for him, you know what I mean, blaming him for Sweden having a terrible, which is the first time I've ever heard of one person ever be blamed for the international team going down. Do you think actually we just need to give Hugo his time and bed Isak in slowly as things calm down with the amount of pylons?
With the scrutiny, with the price, with it being a record transfer, Keith, you know how this country's media, fan media, all types of media, fan bases, rivals. This is how it operates, man. If you're the world record signing, all eyes on you, brother. There is no time transition working your way into the team. You're right. This is why I said, because I'm old school, and every Liverpool player that was bought didn't just walk straight into the team. They had to work their way into the team. But now times have changed. Isak is 130 million or whatever he was, 135 million. Brother, there's no hiding place. I think you're right. Ekitike looks like he's settled in, he's functioning, he's in rhythm with the team, with the rest of the boys. Isak isn't quite, but Isak hasn't played. That's why. There's two arguments. Play him. That's the only way he's going to get into rhythm. Play him. That's the only way he's going to get an understanding with the team. So, but I get what you're saying. But how do we fit them in together, Keith? Because they both have to start. This is the or no, they don't have to both start. Gakpo, because you picked Gakpo, Salah, and Isak as your front three. I'm assuming you think Ekitike should be the alternative to Isak, or is the future with both of them leading the line for us?
It's a great question. Great question.
But it's so important. It's crucial.
But my thought theory is my thinking on this. It always goes back to who was the target, regardless of God rest his soul, Diogo passing. Who was the actual target? Was it Isak or was it Ekitike? And who came as a result of of the passing of Diogo? Because I believe, Grizz, if I'm honest with you, think Arne Slot had no intention of letting Diogo go this summer. No way. No, Nunes was out the door. Diaz was out the door. Fair enough. I do not think, and that for me is one of the key elements of this, because if it was a case that actually Isak was going to be the guy that was going to come in and take Nunes' shirt, then Hugo's come in as a squad player. Really, he's been brought in as a squad player to maybe see his way through and maybe try and fight for that place as a centre forward position. Or, like you said before, maybe in certain games be flexible in the same way Diogo was flexible, where you could play him off the left, play him off the right, play him through the centre. So that, for me, is the question. I believe, personally, that shirt, that number 9 shirt, it's number 9, is it? Was Isak's. And Hugo Ekitike was really purchased to be an additional squad player. Yeah, people can say, but you spent 65 million quid on Hugo Ekitike, but 65 million quid gets you Højlund. Do you know what I mean? 65 million quid is just the standard rate that you pay for a centre forward striker, whether he's your number 1 target or if he's going to be a rotational squad player. Now, is the future that Arne Slot is going to test Hugo on the left? Perhaps he might do. Can he do the defensive work that Cody does on the left? That remains to be seen. But was the thought process ever to get Hugo and Alex in the same team ASAP, or was it a case of, we maybe went earlier for Hugo than we anticipated?
I think we thought it's an opportunity in the market to go and get 2 of the best strikers around. And we knew Diaz is going. We knew Nunes is going. And we know Salah's literally in his last season or 2. So we have to buy attackers. I personally think Isak was the number 1 target. And I personally think the other funds were for a pacey wide man to replace Diaz, obviously. But I think the opportunity came on the market to get Ekitike, and we couldn't let it pass.
Yeah.
So now, I'd love to get an insight into this, because we don't know, but that's the way it looks now. It looks unbalanced.
It does.
It looks lopsided. We got 2 number 9s, and we don't play with 2 number 9s. But we might play with 2. We got 2 number 9s and a 10. We haven't played with 2 number 9s and a 10 since probably Fowler and Collymore with McManaman in the 10.
Yeah.
What a shout from Grizz Khan.
Well, someone mentioned in the chat, are we not allowed to have two? Are we the only club in the world that's not allowed to have two strikers? And it's a great point. It's a great point because it's been something that's been talked to death on every platform that you can imagine. But you just made a great point. It's the fact that when we had two number 9s, we basically had two players in Nunes and Diogo who could play off the left. Right. In fact, Nunes, arguably, they used to tell us when we first signed him that actually his best performances came off the wide. We all know Diogo's ability to play across the front three. And so, yeah, we can have two number 9s, but the last 8 years, Liverpool's strikers have been quite fluid in that responsibility. Obviously, you had the situation with maybe like Roberto Firmino and Divock Origi in that scenario, but Divock was always number 2. So I think there is a little bit of an imbalance because I'm not convinced that Slot is convinced that that Hugo can play off the left just yet. And I think that's going to be another.
He's referenced that he can a couple of times.
But I think it's going to be an experiment again, Grizz, though. Like if it comes out of necessity because God forbid something happens to Cody Gakpo, then okay, then like you said earlier in the pod, okay, now there's an injury, there's a necessity, we might fall on something that sees Ekitike play off the left, but he just hasn't come across to me someone like a Diogo that's much more flexible, or someone like a Darwin that can do the left and the centre forward position. So as it is today, it seems a bit imbalanced. And I don't believe that we're going to be playing with two strikers and a number 9, unless Arne Slot's got something for us, man. Unless he wants to.
You can't play. Okay, I'll say it right now, and I'll say it openly, and I don't care if I come across as well. I don't care anyway. But we can't play Ekitike and Isak and Wirtz in the same team with Salah.
Wow. Tell us why.
In my opinion, the only way that can work is if Wirtz plays off the left, like an old Robert Pires formation role.
Mm-hmm.
Salah plays in his position, wide left, and Isak and Ekitike up front. And that would mean dropping or only playing 2 out of McAllister, Szoboszlai, Jones, Gravenberch. So you'd have to drop 2 of those. I think it would make us far too open. I don't know. That's me personally. I don't know if you think that could work. Unless you're thinking Ekitike on the left, Wirtz in the 10, Isak up front, Mohamed Salah, right?
Yeah, that's probably the only way I'm seeing it. But maybe again, it's this one of this kind of like that tried and tested. Yeah, I think all Liverpool fans are nervous about the idea of not having 3 midfielders, for example. Liverpool fans, I think all of us have never really.
Suarez with Coutinho in behind. Was that ever a thing?
That was a thing, but remember how insane that was. That was it Gerrard and Henderson in the middle, and it was Sterling, Suarez, Coutinho, and Sturridge as a front, almost like a front 4, wasn't it? And we all know every game ended 5-4.
It was only half a season or something.
Yeah, it was that half a season when we all just went crazy, and
that wasn't the one. No, that was Coutinho was there when Mane and Bobby were there for 1 season. Coutinho played with Mane, Salah, and Bobby for half a season. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're referring to that bit where they went mad.
Yeah,
just before Coutinho went to Barca.
Yeah, when he's banging in all those free kicks. But no, I was talking about the Brendan Rodgers era.
That's what I'm thinking. Sturridge and Suarez was with Sterling.
Yes.
As the third musketeer. But
Phil was involved in that as well.
And Phil was involved.
Yeah, Phil was involved. Yeah. It's interesting because he was played because I'm 100% sure, I'm not 100%, I'm 95% sure it was Gerrard. Yeah, 2 in the midfield is awful. Just look at the opponent. Blah, blah. Gerrard and Henderson. Yeah, and it was basically like a tennis match. So I just think this season, the problem is you've got with this season, stylistically, this is probably one of the most direct counter-attacking season that we're going to see at this moment in time. It's based on long balls, direct balls. People don't want to faff about passing it amongst themselves. They want to go straight. And I think when you've got a season like that, when you've only got 2 midfielders, you're literally opening yourself up to having crazy basketball games. But on that, I suppose, are we suffering a little bit this season? Because Slot has mentioned it about set pieces. We're not scoring enough set pieces. The team at the top are scoring 60% of their set pieses. We're conceding goals at set pieces or on the second or third ball of set pieces. Are we struggling a bit to, I suppose, adapt to the tactics that are working this season?
Or not, as the case may be. Are we struggling full stop? I think we're struggling for cohesion. I think we're struggling for rhythm. I don't think we're making enough clear-cut chances. I don't know what you think. Like, can you remember keepers having amazing games against us this season? Normally we can remember where we peppered them and how did we not score a win? I don't really remember. I think we've been fairly efficient with our goals in terms of we make chances and we score one or two and and that's it. I don't think we've dominated by making so many chances in a game. So maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember.
I think other than maybe this first half of the Everton game, I thought we created quite a bit.
Atletico Madrid.
But Grizz, I actually think it's the open chances and creating things is definitely one thing. I think our biggest issue at the moment is on attacking set pieces. I agree with Slot. We have had some,
attacking or defending pieces. Both
this season. I mean, what was it? It was a bloody throw-in against Crystal Palace.
Can you remember the Newcastle goals we conceded?
That was Nick Pope playing NFL. Do you know what I mean? Like them long kickers, that was the same kind of thing. We which is mad to think that we've suffered in terms of dealing with set pieces, even though I feel like the size of our squad is increased. But attacking set pieces, Konate.
It's literally only Virgil and Konate's got 50p head.
Yeah. He's the opposite of Gabriel. Every time Gabriel comes in the box for Arsenal, he gets his head on the ball, he scores. Konate, every time he gets his head on the ball, it goes wide. Or
it's a clearance. It's a clearance. It's a clearance. He
working against us.
Konate makes more clearances in the opposition box than in his own. Oh God, Konate, man! Ibu's making more clearances in the opposition's penalty box than ours right now. That's a mad one.
It's crazy, honestly.
But listen. The title of the show is No Better Stage. Time to beat United and reignite our season. And it does need a bit of reigniting, Keith. Like, we can dress it up how we want. I know me and you like to make no excuses, but we like to give rational explanations into what is happening and take a broader look rather than just pinpoint and say disaster, we're finished. But even me and you will admit there are issues to be resolved. It does need reigniting, restarting, call it what you want. This 2-week break, everyone's come back, thank the Lord, that injury-free, all systems go. We discussed the lineups on Red Room. We'll briefly see if we've changed our mind about the formation. Let's get into it. You're still adamant that you want Szoboszlai right back on Sunday.
Yes. I'm sticking.
Okay.
I'm sticking.
Szoboszlai, Ibu, Virgil, Kerkez, or Robertson.
Yeah. Honestly, me, Keith Cross, I get to choose lineup Robertson. I think that we need to bring him back into the squad. I think that Kerkez has had a bit of a challenging time. I still don't think Kerkez really is comfortable in understanding what Slot wants from a left back. I think against Man United, against a big rival, I think in big games, I actually think that Andy Robertson should come back into the fold. That's a Keith thing. Logic suggests that Kerkez needs to play because Kerkez is now the number one and Kerkez has got to play these games and he's still young and he's going to adapt and you can't keep taking him in and out and doing this, that and the other.
But you said this, but you can't go against what you're saying. You're saying, no, let's pick our 11 and stick with it.
Yeah, exactly. And a part of me is Keith Cross and Goalmouth are having a battle in between. You know what I mean? It's like
you're having a battle in your own head, man.
Yeah. Keith Cross is calling Goalmouth a hypocrite. He's like, bruv, you used to be somebody.
What's going on?
It's like a Green Goblin when he's looking at his in the mirror. You know what I mean? And he's seeing his old ego. Yeah, look, okay. Who's going to win this battle today? Okay, I think today Goalmouth is going to win this battle, and he's going to tell Keith, listen, Kirkes is a big enough boy. He'll get his chance. Let's bring Andy Robertson back into the fold.
Oh, shit, really?
That's what I'm going for.
What's the rationale?
He's cut. Look, I think sometimes in life, we're talking about leaders, right? We're talking about getting things back on track, right? We're talking about experienced players that have played for Liverpool and played in the big games and know what it's like. And let's not deny that Andy Robertson is still a quality football player. I mean, yeah, we may disagree in some of his defensive situations, the Estavio back posting. I'm sure, you know, I've got other reasons for that. But I think at this moment in time, we're on a bad run. We need some leaders. We need some experience. We need some quality. We need players who have played in these games. And Andy Robertson, no better player in that situation to come in and, what did we say? Steady the ship, bring a bit of calmness. We need all our leaders on the pitch, and Andy Robertson is one of the leadership group.
I've gone extra grey just in the opening 51 minutes of this show. I've got to colour my beard before the big game on Sunday, man.
You got it, man. Are you in the studio?
Yeah. I got to look proper.
Is Saeed coming to the?
Yeah. It's gonna be peak. It's gonna be peak. I'm disagreeing with 50% of your back four, so I'm going with Bradley, Ibu, Virgil, Kirkes. My midfield consists of Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as my two. Yours?
Well, based on what I've said, because Szoboszlai is already at right back, Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch, because I don't trust McAllister coming back from Argentina, and you know he always comes back a bit.
So we're both agreeing on that.
Yeah.
So are we both starting Wirtz?
Yes.
Okay, I'm starting Wirtz as well.
But where is he starting?
In the 10. Ahead of I think Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as the 2. Are
we scrapping him on the left wing?
I never suggested that in the first place.
Not you, but in general, like, is it time?
I doubt. Horses for courses. Maybe some games if we can tweak a formation. And the front three for me pick itself. Well, I say that, but you threw the Ekitike. I think it's going to be Isak, Salah, Gakpo. I don't think he drops Gakpo. I know Gakpo seems to be public enemy number 1 at the moment.
Yeah, weird one with Gakpo.
But he's the Dutch clutch for me.
Yeah, why? What is it about?
Because he's okay. I think it's because he's ignoring Kirkes for some strange reason, or he doesn't see him. He hasn't got the vision, or he don't trust him. He's not passing. Every passing network that you study, you analyze, shows that he doesn't pass to Kirkes. He's cutting inside and doing that same thing he does. Don't get me wrong. I think it's lethal. I think Gakpo's shooting and shoot on sight methodology is one of the best around. Brother can score goals, hit a striker ball cleaner than anyone in the team apart from Szoboszlai probably, or as good as Szoboszlai. I think he's the cleanest striker of the ball. But he's doing it again and again and again when it's not working. I think people are asking for more variety to his game. Has he got that though?
No.
In his locker?
Oh, I mean, I just saw someone there. Ash just said he's predictable. Aren't we?
He has got that ability, acceleration to go on the outside. He has done it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's true. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not so much that he's predictable. Obviously, Omar saying that he can be wasteful. Wasteful controlling football game.
Oh, come on.
to be varied and create more space.
Oh,
Maybe that is the issue. Maybe the issue really is not necessarily with Cody Gakpo himself, but what you just said there, Grizz. Maybe it's there's no telepathy between Kirkes and Gakpo. They don't know each other enough. They don't trust each other enough. So when we're talking about variety, the only thing that I can think of, because his dribbling's fine, he gets past players, but he's never really going to change his dribbling style. Luis Diaz never changed his dribbling style. Gakpo's not going to change it.
Diaz had variety. Diaz could go inside, outside. Diaz could dink a pass through. Gakpo's got a couple of signature moves. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He's got tap it on the outside and use his pace and strength to go on the outside. Cut inside and shoot to the top corner. Top left corner, or top right, sorry, I should say, or cut inside and dink it to the far post and hope Salah turns into Peter Crouch. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, there you go. That ball to the far post to Salah drives me mad. He does it every single time, bro.
I swear.
Cuts inside and he dinks it to the far post.
Yeah, it's the wrong guy.
It's the wrong guy. Salah is the worst header of the ball you're ever going to see, probably apart from Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. To be fair, at least I've seen that Salah score a header. But
a header. Do you remember the goal he scored against Coutinho? Done it, whipped in the ball.
Yeah.
Was
that his first game? Was that his debut?
No. It wasn't his debut, but it wasn't his debut. But Coutinho whipped in that ball to the far post. I think it was Leeds.
Yeah, maybe Leeds.
No, I can't remember who it was. It was a away game. But you get my point. Look, I think I can't remember who it was now. Someone in the chat will know. Guys, who did he score that goal against? But that's the only header that I can remember Salah scoring.
No, bro. Whoa. See, big up AI. They're not our sponsors, but hey, any AI sponsors out there want to sponsor, let us know, because
it wasn't Southampton, was it?
Manchester City in the 2-2 draw.
Yeah, but that
scored a last-minute headed winner. Technically,
no. That was a blunder from the keeper. Remember?
Yeah. Against Bournemouth. 2022-2023 at home.
The Man City header was instinctive. That was just a brilliant pass by Robertson.
Yeah. That's one with the proper smash and grip. Like, we battered them that game, actually. I think it was 2-2 in the end, but I thought
Leicester.
That's the one.
That's the one.
John Rooney.
Leicester. It was Leicester City. That was the game where Coutinho whipped that ball in, unlike Gravenberch, who chips that ball in, and Salah got into the. I don't know how he headed it. He doesn't know how he headed it. But listen, we're coming to the end of the show. Bloody hell, time flies when we talk football, and especially when we talk Liverpool. I'm very confident about Sunday. I get trepidation. I get nerves. I get big game. I get anything can happen. I get they raise their game, but I'm confident. I've gone for a 2-0 in my prediction. I think Isak opens his account. Well, he's already opened his account, but I think Isak scores. And I think Ekitike scores, comes on and scores.
Okay, yeah.
So I think 2-0.
Okay. So I've been saying this for a few shows, but this is going to be the game. Yeah, I'm going for 3-1. I think it's going to be Isak. I think whoever starts out of Isak and Ekitike gets the brace, and whoever comes off the bench gets the assist for Florian Wirtz's opening Premier League goal at Anfield, and that will be the third. That'll be the nail in the coffin. Shirts will fly off. Wirtz will get booked, get yellow cards. But that's how I see it going. So 2 goals from the striker, whoever they may be, and I think Florian Wirtz gets off the mark. And I think we concede, and I think we concede a set piece. And I think that set piece brings it to 1-1. By the way.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's squeaky bum time, lads, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, probably best not to watch it with your Manchester United fan uncle.
Really, you don't think it's going to be smooth sailing?
Dark room. Yeah, turn the volume off so you don't have to listen to the commentary. And
tune into the mob. Watch our commentary instead.
Tune into the mob, actually. You know what? I'll big you guys up for that, because that's what I've started doing. I literally press pause
Right.
I've just mute it, and then and it's funny because obviously you guys get it delayed, didn't it? Yeah, so the goal will go in, and I'm just like, ah, shit. Okay, let me log in, see what's happening, see the reaction. So, Grizz, look, you know what? Yeah, I think as we come to
I can't handle nerves, man. It can't be close, man. Keith, can't we win comfortably, man, without any stress?
brother, you're having to go through this pilgrimage this year, my friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's mad, you know. Like, I get to come on here and, you know, be on the Anfield Index fan channel. Sometimes on yours, I actually get to talk about Liverpool amongst Liverpool friends. You, my friend, have to go out there
Behind enemy lines.
And them hyenas.
Hyenas! That's the best way of describing them, bro. They literally waiting around. Waiting for, like, and as soon as we have a bad result, they're onto me. I'm like,
you said this, you said that. Nah, but you said this and you said that, bro. Honestly, I saw the one with after the Chelsea one as well.
They killed me, man. They absolutely killed me. But listen, enough of them hyenas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I really enjoyed today's show. Thanks for Keith filling in again. Probably, I think Gags is back next week. I'm pretty sure he is back next week. But Keith's on the Red Room anyway, as always. A valued contributor. Keith, thank you very much for giving up your time on a Friday evening.
Thank you for having me, my brother. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, it's hopefully this time next week when we're on the Red Room will be a
happy time. Hopefully it'll be a happy occasion, man. We can't not. Oh my God. No, let's think about it. Can you stop? Yeah, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and tranquility to you. Take care.
Big up, man.